Hi, students. Let's touch base. We've got a lot going on. The semester is in full swing, and I wanted to just touch base and see how everybody's doing. I do also want to let you know that I do see you out there working. I see a lot of pause quizzes being completed. I see you moving through the Connect assignments. It looks like I have, I think, one person who's into Chapter 4, which is where we are this week. And so I wanted to also do a schedule check with you. If some folks, and I realize this happens, join the semester just a little bit late, but remember you really needed to go through Chapter 1 and 2 quickly. Today's the 10th, which means that today is kind of your milestone for starting Chapter 4 and knocking that out this week. These first 4 chapters really deal a lot with descriptive statistics, which is where we are really just describing the data, and we want to leave time later in this very short 10-week semester to focus on inferential statistics. So we're currently in finishing up week number 2, starting into week number 3. And like I say, summer semester is very short. At the end of week 3, we'll be starting to prepare for exam number 1, and I will provide you with a handout, let's say an electronic handout, that I will post in the content section of PAWS under exam number 1 category. And I'll email you once that's available, and that should be very soon, and perhaps I've already emailed you depending on when you're watching this video. Here's some other things to touch base on. Remember that we are working on chapters 1, 2, 3, and 4, that each one of those chapters in terms of Connect has has 3 separate parts. The reason for that is so that you don't have to do a whole bunch of problems and submit, so that you can knock it out in sections. You can look at any time in PAWS at the Dropbox to get a list of the problems that you'll be working and the points associated with that. Of course, I encourage you to just jump into that in Connect, okay? Don't forget, you need to work on those until you get a score of 85 or above, and as you do that, what you're really doing is preparing for the exam. So that's a good thing, because the exam comes straight from the homework. Now, if you are looking for your grade, you can find that for Connect assignments in Connect. After exam number 1, which is also the due date, after the due date for those assignments, I will actually manually write those grades into PAWS. And I'll email you when I do this. But if you're not seeing your Connect grades in the PAWS system, there's a reason, and it's because I have to manually type those in, and so I don't do that until after the due date. PAWS quizzes. Again, don't forget, chapters 1, 2, 3, and 4, 85 or above, you have until Wednesday night, 11:55 p.m. cutoff. And, what your clock says is not important. It's what the system clock says that is important. How do you know? Well, here's the idea. Don't cut it that close. You need to be done way before 11:55, okay? So just keep that in mind. Learning project number 1, I think many of you are knocking this out. This is where you do the pie chart and the scatter graph. Scatter graph is kind of a chapter 4 concept. Pie chart is earlier, but this is all descriptive statistics, and I hope that you find this interesting. It might be a lot of steps, but it is not hard steps, because I do tell you step by step what to do. Same thing with learning project number 2. Now, in this one, and so I think very insightful stuff where you can watch people solve some of these homework problems or similar problems. I mean, I'm not going to work the homework for you, but you can do that. Watch at least the first 4 or 5 videos, because they relate to Chapter 4. The ones later on the list relate more to Chapter 5. So hone in on those Chapter 4 videos, but don't forget to do the writing assignment associated with that, which just guarantees that you have watched the video. Now, I'm fast running out of time, so I'm going to stop this video and continue with part 2.